So in this video, we're going to go over just the basics of creating an email broadcast, or what we often say is email blast, but in Infusionsoft, it's email broadcast. So an email broadcast is different from a campaign builder because an email broadcast is one blast. You just send it out. You can schedule it for the future. It's not reoccurring. It's not really automated. It just happens once. So we generally do that for sales and one-time things. So we go to the dashboard, emails and broadcasts. Get started. It's going to take us to the screen of pre-made templates, which we never use, previously sent, which we could use and definitely needs to be organized if possible, I'm not sure, and then drafts, which is of course anything you've been working on and saving. My templates is great because you can create a preset template and load that up. I mean, the thing is we're pretty much going to change everything because we don't really, but then it's good. It could be good for just a template space holder. So these are previously sent. You can reuse a previously sent one, use as a draft. You can save it to your templates. So of course in the future we want to have a set of templates based off of the FNS system, or we have popcorn night, everything that we use, but it should be labeled based off of the FNS system. So that's the future. But for now, let's say we wanted to send an email blast, and let's see, there's drafts, my templates. So let's just say we don't have a template, so we're going to use this one, and we're going to do, let's say, a sale. So use as a draft. So now we're basically accomplishing the first one is we're using a previously sent one as a draft. If you ever want to create a blank one, I believe you just go to gallery and you use the blank template. It's just blank. So that's the easiest thing. Let's see. Create a blank email. You could also do that. So it's thinking because Infusionsoft likes to think a lot. It's a very robust system and it takes a long time. So sometimes it's good to have another computer and do other things as it thinks. As we can see just while I'm on here is like the standard format is we always want to have like a nice visual at the top. I like to have an animated GIF, especially for sales. This one was a fitness challenge. I generally don't like to have a big picture at the top because I feel like it looks like an ad and it doesn't look personalized, but at the same time I want something visual. So my in-between is to put it more at the bottom or say like, hi. Okay, so now we have the draft. This is the basics of how to use the email broadcast and not what to do. So first the from address should always be info@alanalife1.com. And to do that, all you do is put in you choose other. Then you put info@alanalife.com, and then you put Christy at Alana Life and Fitness. And we just do that. I'm trying it out. Maybe it's not a good idea. Basically, so from they kind of know who it's from. Now, it feels less personalized, but at least without knowing my last name, they know who it's from, what company it's from. Then you click on save. And then once that's saved, it'll show up here. The next one is who you're sending it to. Now we can definitely create pre-made searches in the future, but for now we don't have them. So you could just do new search, and generally an email broadcast for a sale or something will send it to the whole list, everyone in our email list. So to do that, we click on new search. We're going to remove do not contacts, and sometimes depending on the sale, we'll remove people who are current members. So we're going to do a search for that. What's happening? So basically you can search recipients, and then you do this thing called anybody, there we go, doesn't have any of these tags, and you put do not contact. So send it to anybody as long as they do not have this tag. So you see again, we're using tags again, and that's, you know, sometimes useful. There's a specific way to use tags. So for now, just follow. We can, you know, organize and group people, and sometimes we can create actions from tags, which can be goals. But for now, we're just searching, and then we have maybe we don't want to send it to people who are members. So we can do status index 41. Yes, this person is member. So if they have any of these tags, don't send it to them because it could be a membership, you know, invite email. So now we're going to click on search. It's going to come up with usually 10,000, but it only sends the half because I think we have a bunch of duplicates. So it only sends it to unique emails. It doesn't send to people twice. Then you create the subject, just like, and you put it here. And then you create the body. So you just here. Now to create the body and to add the images, it's nice because it's a drag and drop. So on the left hand over here is we have things like you can add more text, you can add a space. Let's say they're like it's too close to each other. You can add a divider. You can add an image, and then it shows all the images over here. You can add a button, which is what we do a lot. We'll say click here to RSVP. So those are the different things. To edit the text, you just go in here, bold, underline. You can use shortcuts like Control B. You can change the color, and you can make certain things bold. I mean, like a header and larger, but you cannot, it won't let you make anything larger than header 1. You're basically stuck with those font options. I don't even think you can change the font. So there's lots of limitations. Also, you do left, center, bullets or numbers. And then the next thing that you want to know how to do is link it. Okay, hold a second. Okay, so we have that. So now one thing that we can do is we can put a link here. So we can highlight it, click on the link. Usually we send them, it's we only send people to our thank you page and then we tag them. That's usually what our links are for. Or a blog page. So we could do blogs, but we don't really do it that often. Or let's say we want to send them to our YouTube a video specifically. Better to put the YouTube video on our blog and send them to our blog, but we're not always, if we don't have time or something. So let's say it's our thank you page. It's alanalife.com. Thank you. And then usually we tag the person. So you click on that tag button. And so now we can do it where once they click on it, they get tagged, and then whatever sequence of tasks and actions and notes or whatever we want will happen because they clicked on the link. They achieve the goal of being tagged, and then the sequence starts. So that's how we pull it all together, and you click on done. Insert link. So now we got that. Then the next thing is we want to do like a merge field. So hi, first name. How do we do that? We click on merge. Go back. Let's go to common one. First name, comma. Okay. Then what we're going to do is, we've learned how to create a link, bold, link, and then first name merge, images. You can do the same thing for the button, where now you put the thank you button, you click on URL, and then so you notice initially the URL box doesn't show up, but so you have to do it. Then you can tag them. We did before, change the color and the alignment. let's say this was what happens often is you create it and you want to put an image in the middle. You can't do that. The image can only go like around the box. So what you do instead is you, number one, click on the duplicate. Then you delete the section you want. Delete the section you want. And then you delete the bottom, let's say. So now you have it's broken up into sections, and now you can add the image in the middle. So that's how you'd add an image in the middle. Don't forget you can add it on the side, but it doesn't wrap around the image. You have to break it up into different sections by clicking on copy and deleting the bottom and the top. It's important to remember that when you do this and you delete and you duplicate, it generally should save the formatting when you do a copy. This didn't have any formatting. And a link. But if you were to copy and paste this like Control-C, Control-V, the formatting does not carry over. So that does not work. So if you want a similar format, you have to duplicate to get the same formatting. And in addition, you can't so you can't copy and paste. You can't go undo like Control-Z. If you delete this and you didn't want to, it's gone forever. I don't think it undoes itself. So if I do this, delete, and I go, oh no, I wanted that. You lost it. Like, it sucks that way. So you can't undo things. You gotta just know what you're doing. The next thing is, so we covered from, recipients, subject, which is type the text in. Of course, try to put something free, fun, a freebie. Why do they want to open it in the beginning? Because it gets cut off, and then additional things at the end. We covered adding text, you can change the color. You can change the size, you can left align it, buttons, links. Links, tags, buttons, images. You can also tag an image. And then down here, if you have an animated GIF, you put the link to the embedded animated GIF here, and it'll animate. Now, once you add an image, it's going to be small. So you have to click out, you have to click in, and then you have to make it bigger. And that's how you do it. So that's just generally how to get around it. The main things you need to use. I haven't used group. Now just know that if you add a video, it's not going to actually be the video. It's just going to be an image of the video. So that could be useful, but it's not really what we like as animated GIFs. It's interesting. I've never used code. I wonder if that could be the HTML that we need. Huh. Maybe we don't need to use Classic Builder anymore. That's a good possibility. I don't think they had that before. Okay, so that could be an option. Now the other important thing is placement of this email. We want to make it on left aligned. Before I used to make it centered, but I think it looks more personal if it's left aligned. So make sure to do that. Make sure it's left aligned and not centered aligned. Once you're done with that, then now you can move on to reviewing. So you can preview it, and it'll show you what it looks like. You have to triple, quadruple, 5 times check your email. Read the text, read the images. That's why it's good to do this way ahead of time, so you can sleep on it and check it with a fresh eyes. And then once you're really ready, like you're sure it's completely ready, that's when you send it to me. It's not a good idea to send me a draft where there's clearly 20 things that need to be fixed first, because then I'm going to be fixing them. So you want to fix everything and be basically done, and then you can send yourself one email first as a quadruple, and once you're sure it's perfect, then you send it to me. And you can use this, or you can forward it to me. Sometimes it doesn't get sent for some reason, and I also have a lot of filters, so sometimes I don't get certain emails. So you just have to let me know when you send it, and then I have to search for it in my email. I'm not sure if the links work when you do the test email, like if it'll send you there or if it'll tag you. So that's kind of tricky. You can't test the functionality for tags, but I think you can test it for links. Once you're basically done, you can also save it as a template, which is good if like you're doing house cleaning for the emails and really you just want to create the templates. Then maybe you can just open a draft or open a previously sent, update it, then save it as a template with the correct code. If this is the actual email you want to send, then you can do review and send, and you can either schedule it to be sent at another time in which it won't be sent yet, or you can send now and then click on send. So you can double check. So you see how there's actually only half gets sent because we have a lot of duplicates. X that out. Alright, great. So that's the overview of how to use email broadcast in Infusionsoft and the key things to look at in sending the email. One other thing is make sure to look at the signature. This is good. Make sure there's no signature like that's randomly like the bottom that says like staff signature and it says sincerely like staff, so make the default signature that you can put in. I think it's under blocks. It's under signature here. We don't really use that. I mean, we could. I haven't really, but you see, it's like we don't really use that. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so that's the overview, and then you can also click on exit. I think if you click on exit, it'll be saved as a draft, but I think that it'll be saved. You generally won't lose it. You do want to make sure it's saved. See auto saved here, because sometimes in Infusionsoft, like if you have a bad connection or something, it doesn't work, and so you basically can lose your work. So I think that, I'm not sure where their save button is. There's somewhere you can save this. But I think maybe exiting it would save it. I have to check on that. But just keep in mind, if you don't see it as auto-saved within the last 10 minutes, that you want to make sure you save it. You can definitely lose your work. Alright, so that's the overview of the email broadcast.